It is the African Union force in military base behind carefully packed sandbags for defense, communicating within and their other bases in Mogadishu. The AMISOM forces also go about in armed personnel carriers, and particularly here is the Ministry of Defense headquarters in the Somali capital, a place area known for not only its beauty but also for its sense and smell of military might. Both the beauty and power are gone as it was shattered during the long civil strife in the country, but exacerbated by the lot worse phenomenon called insurgencies. Well-organized African Union forces under the name AMISOM, with the help of the Somali National Forces, drove those insurgents out of the capital, and then the AMISOM forces guarded this facility, which was earlier vivid with offices, where journeys of military orders and directives once went through back and forth unhindered. One might wonder what is this beautiful but fortified premises might be. Well, as you might recognize, it is the same one is shattered Ministry of Defense headquarters in Mogadishu. Some people call it the Gashandiga village, others call it the defense headquarters, and yet others call it simply the MOD. The Somalian national flag erected before a beautifully set garden in front of the offices of the MOD is clearly recognizable here. A civilian man with a necktie, Mr. Sonkor Jama Gaire, and a uniformed military official chit-chat here for morning handshake and proceed to their respective offices. All the thanks go to the European Union's support to the MOD in reconstructing and restoring the defense headquarters for the Somali government. The initial stage of the project concentrated on the erection of the Villa Gashandiga, notably the renovation of 16 offices, the construction of training center, building on defense walls of the front gate, and the installation of solar power system. This EU project did not only reconstruct and reinstate the infrastructure, but also equipped it to the teeth for its full occupational capabilities. Apart from the offices, the EU-funded project also created a center for meetings, cafeteria, lavishly furnished gathering center for the supreme military officials, and learning classes for the MOD personnel in capacity building gestures, where university lecturers help identify where improvement can be made in the IT, management, logistics, public communications, and other related necessary skills towards the civilian oversight of the MOD and SNA operations countrywide. The highly furnished and decorated offices in this project facilitate the smooth running of the MOD and SNA, where the minister, heads of departments, and the director general spew their directives out to the chain of the military command in connection with the federal government and its guidelines in line with the ongoing effort to build a strong institution to overcome many obstacles. The Ministry of Defense and its staff has begun relocating to their headquarters after years of sheltering temporarily at the tiny offices of the country's presidential palace. The international partners, including the EU, the US, UK, and Turkey, all put their tactical efforts in making the MOD sound in its structures and the necessary support towards the achievement of its goals for the Somali people. The Director General, Sonkor Jama Gaire, explains the way forward.
mahadi ilaahay maanta wasaaradda gaashaandhigu waxay u soo guurtay si rasmi ah xarunteedii aad arkaysaan quruxda badan leh dhammaan shaqaalihii wasiiradii iyo maamulkii oo idil waxaana mahadda iskale ilaahay iyo European Unionka oo maalgeliyo nagana caawiyey dhismaha iyo dayactirka qaybtan waxaa kaloo u tahay guul dowladda Soomaaliyeed in dhammaan xarumihii dowladda dib loo dayactiro loo guuro iyadoo taasi ay ka caawinayso amniga iyo isballaarinta dowladda isku ballaarinaysay xarumaheedii dhammaan xarumihii ay horey u lahaan jirtay wasaaradda gaashaandhiguna hormood bay ka noqotay maanta inay degan tahay xarunteedii waana wax lagu faani karo waxaan rajaynaynaa dhammaan wasaaradaha Soomaalida oo idin sidaas oo kale u rajaynayaa inay iyaguna xarumahooda dayactirtaan oo sidaas u degaan taasi waxay muujinaysaa marka dowladnimada inay faaftay oo ballaaratay annaguna waan ku faraxsanahay inaan hormood ka noqonnay maadaama aan wasaaradda gaashaandhigga nahay mahad gaar ah hadda waxaan u soo celinahay hay'adda iyadoo niis oo hawshan ay wax badan ka fududeysay fulinteedii iyo hawlgelinteedii nagalana shaqaysay feeska koowaad sanadkan bilowgiisana waxaan rajaynaynaa meesha hadda arkaysaan inay isaga ahaan jirtayna horaad uga aragteen musawirada say ahaan jirtay duruufta aan laga soo guuray sanadkan hadda inoo bilaaban waxaan rajaynaynaa inay kasii bilic wanaagsanaato oo ay dhammaan agaaraheeda iyo deegaanada oo idilba ay ka dhex muuqato nolol iyo nabad sida astaanta waa dowladdan mudane madaxweyne Farmaajo iyo ra'iisul wasaare Xasan Cali Khayre nabad iyo noloshuna ku soo noqoto nabaduna ay muuqato ay bilaabato wassalaamu calaykum warahmatullahi